Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina show. I'm really excited to get to highlight a teacher. She is from Logan-Hocking High School, and there's just so many awesome things and awesome teachers in the community, and I'm so excited to have her. Her name is Erica Brown. She is the Family Consumer Science, right? Family and Consumer Science teacher,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
How many years have you been teaching,
So I've
Erica?
been teaching for 5 years. All 5 years have been at Logan-Hocking High School, and this was a career change. So I used to do physical therapy. I was a physical therapist assistant for 10 years before becoming a teacher. So
Why did you decide to do teaching? And
So when I was in grade school, I never really cared for school. I didn't like it, but I went through the traditional route of finishing high school. I went to college, got a job like I was told I was supposed to do. And I learned later in life that I do love to learn. I didn't like the traditional classroom. So Family and Consumer Science lets me kind of show students that if they don't think they like school, it might just be the traditional classroom they don't like, but they really do love learning. So trying to get them to understand what type of learning they enjoy and figure out what pathway they want to take in life.
it sounds like that's why you had chosen this specific subject and this to teach, right?
Right,
It's because
this
you wanted
content
to-
is great
Yeah.
for that. It exposes them to different pathways.
Yeah.
It's not just there's this one correct way to go through life, and I hope that they can learn that.
Was it something that you yourself had experienced in high school in this kind of class that you took back then? I called it, I don't know how old you are, but I know we called it home ec.
Even when I was
So-
in high school, it was called home ec still. I think it may have just been transitioning to Family and Consumer Sciences then.
Yeah.
And I actually never took the class in high school.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't. It wasn't until as I was working in physical therapy and I wanted to go back and learn more, and a professor had reached out to me and had told me, look, there's this content, because I had written in a paper, I wanted to teach, but I couldn't find a content that I really felt passionate about. And she's like, it looks like this kind of shines through with you. And I was like, yes, that's it, because I love to learn. I just didn't like the traditional classroom. So the lab-based, the hands-on things, I really like that. And what I'm able to teach my students, I feel like is very applicable and things that they can use every day and help them become kind of a best version of their adult selves
I love that.
later in life.
It is. You're giving them something, and you're passionate about it, that you yourself had experienced back then, if it is a kid or a child. So, being that it's now a different name, is it, because I know back then, some of the guys were like, oh, we got to take home ec. That means cooking, and that means sewing. And so what is the difference from back then and now, and how is it perceived by the kids these days?
Yeah, I think the perception has changed quite a bit. I get probably a third of my students are male students now. I will say some of them are guided in by the smell of food. So that's still there. But the content has expanded a lot. We have leadership classes, nutrition classes. We can teach financial management classes. So now it's geared more towards how are we going to prepare you for what's after high school, whether it be a workforce, a college route. And they're starting to see that it is applicable and it is valuable. It's not just cooking and sewing, which is still there, and we can still teach that, and it's still important. But the life skills, I think that whole term has changed a little bit, and it's not just, it used to be there was the home ec for the females and then the FFA for the males,
or
and now
even
both
they did
of them.
shop classes.
Yes,
what
shop
they called
classes
it.
or
Yeah,
something.
back then I know. I am really aging myself, probably.
Well, we still have shop classes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay, you do.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's not just a male side and a female side anymore.
No, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, I try to do things, but if you ask me to do something with any kind of hand saw, don't ask me, because it intimidates me. But if somebody showed me back then, I would have been open to building and doing. Yeah, but not that I'm
whole
afraid.
nother
It's
skill.
just like, it is. It's a whole nother skill. So the students, what do you love the most about what you do, and how are the students in your class?
I love the hands-on learning. I tell my students on day one in any of my classes, I want you to take away what you've learned in my class and use it today at some point. So I love when they come in the next day and tell me about conversations they had with their parents or with their family members about something that they've learned in my class. I love getting emails on weekends or evenings about project ideas they have for an assignment or for the community.
Yeah.
I'm an advisor of FCCLA, which is Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. It's a student organization based off leadership in the community. So I get emails from students who are wanting to get out in the community and help some way.
Yeah.
So seeing them understand that they are a big part of the community just as much as the community is a big part of them is
absolutely
pretty awesome to see.
And we're going to highlight one of those students today, right? Yes. I'm really excited. We'll get to her here in a little bit in the show and all. What is your very favorite thing about the class? Is there a specific thing that you like to teach? I know some people like the financial side of it, or is it, do you have one in particular, or not really? You just...
Oh, there's so many. Like I said, the life skills part is big for me, but I think what it is our lives is just a series of habits that we create for ourselves. Mm-hmm. So teaching my students good, sustainable habits now, I think is going to make their adult lives a lot easier. So seeing those habits come through, seeing them show their leadership and communication styles when they work in lab groups, it's great. And it's not that I'm looking for life skills like, are they using the correct measuring cup? It's seeing them interact and communicate with each other, make new friends that they've not had before. Those are things I don't think we put enough time into in a traditional classroom.
No, I totally agree, because there is the way of baking, and you've got to do this and follow the rules, but it's also communicating and learning to communicate.
Right. Teamwork and group work and leadership.
I'm just saying, it's so funny though, but if you do baking is important. Cooking, not so much when it comes to recipes, but you can ask my best friend, and Josh, my producer, knows my best friend. She doesn't follow the rules when it comes to baking, and it is a disaster, and you can ask her anytime. But I just wanted to, anything else you'd like to share, because I have a gift for you.
No, just thank you so much for inviting us. And
oh yeah, I'm so glad. And
talk about what we do.
Our Teacher of the Month is brought to you by Crowd Communications, and I love Angela and her whole team over there, so I do want to say that. But these are some gifts and some goodies in here that I hope you just enjoy. And oh my goodness, I just realized this. You know, sometimes you just do and then you realize it. So I've got this kind of like orange candle that goes with the tea. That's all. So no, that wasn't on purpose. I hope you like orange, Erica.
Thank you.
There you go.
Very nice meeting you.
And I want to thank you for what you do and continue doing, because it seems like you're very passionate. And it's just making a difference. One, I don't want to call them children, so we'll call them kid.
Students, kids, yes.
One student at there you go. Yeah, one student at a time. Thank you so much. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to highlight a student from Logan-Hocking High School in just a minute. It's Down Here with Tina.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area where the fountain is and the memorials and the flags and all this stuff. And I looked around and I said, there's our bank right there.
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Welcome back. It's Down Home with Tina. It is my Student of the Month. It's nothing like highlighting those of the months in one program, and they come from the same school, and I just love it. It's fun to get the opportunity to highlight the students in our community that are just excited about doing things, and especially when it comes to with community. So I don't know, I feel a little connected with little Miss Sarah here because she is a junior at Logan-Hocking High School, and you like to do the community side of things, is what I hear.
Yep.
So that is pretty cool. So you are a part of the Family and Consumer Sciences class with Miss Brown.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about that, will you? How many years have you been in it, and why do you like it so much?
So this is my 4th year taking FCS classes and being in FCCLA, and I've taken every single one of her classes, and there's been no doubt that I shouldn't try them all, because she always tells her students to at least give it a try and see if you like it, and if you don't, it's going to change. It's fine.
Yeah, because it's so many different things that you do.
There's so many different, even each class, it changes every week. There's so many different aspects of it that each student gets to take in and acknowledge and figure out what they're good at, what their weaknesses are, and they just get to learn different things that are going to be helpful for them in their life.
Do you have a favorite topic, or is it kind of hard? I mean, you said you've taken every one of her classes.
My favorite class is leadership and community engagement. We just learn about worth ethic, and we get to create a project, and she coaches us through it, and we get to partner with different people either in our class or in the community or in the school, and it's just different each year, and this is my 2nd year taking it.
So what kind of projects, when you say projects, that are involved with the community?
So this year my project is going to be teaching elementary children at aftercare about kindness 2 days out of the week. And then I'm going to switch it up and go to one elementary, and then later in the month I go to a different one, so that way each elementary is getting an aspect of teaching kindness through different activities. And my plans are to use different types of learning too. So the visual learners, they're going to get visual aspects of kindness and show how it affects other people.
Did you create this like yourself, or I know you said your teacher helped you, but was this your idea?
Yeah, I email her all the time about what I have in my mind for the day or for the month. All the time, she's always getting emails from me about something.
She's a soul sister. Like I am that way, where you just think of things. And how awesome! I've just got goosebumps just thinking about it. That you have an outlet and somebody that you can share with it who believes in you and that is there to help you to continue to do what you do. Does she ever have to scale you back? So, because sometimes that's what my best friend has to do. Okay, Tina, let's take a breath. I doubt she ever says it like that to you. But so you've got to be really looking forward to being able to have your creativity and put it out there, especially for these kids.
Yep.
Oh, so what else do you like about the class? What are some of the other things that you do?
So one other thing I like to do is we do these kind of like icebreakers with our classmates, because at the beginning of the year, our classmates, we don't know a lot of them, and so we're all really quiet. And then Miss Brown puts together some kind of activity to get us to talk and get to know each other and ask questions, so that way throughout the year we can rely on each other throughout different projects that we're doing.
Have you met other students and became friends with them throughout the class that you may have never had another form of connection in school?
Yeah, I really don't like meeting people, but through these different activities, I get to know upperclassmen even that I would have never thought I would be friends with or talk to.
Okay, so you have lower class and classmen and upper that can be in the same class. Yep. Now, will you go and do this again next year? I don't know. Yeah. There's 4 years that you can. Yeah. Yeah. What are you looking forward to when coming into your senior year? Do you already have a new idea for the project next year, or do you want to expand on this one? And can you do that? Can you expand?
There's always a way to expand a project, whether it's adding a different school or adding another partner or changing the goal to be something bigger. But projects just come to me in the middle of the night. So,
do you write them down, or do you wake up?
I start an email, and then I'll finish it in the morning, and then I'll send it to Miss Brown.
That's very polite of you to not send it in the middle of the night in case she's got her phone alerts or something on. So what do you think this has done for you, Sarah? this class?
So this has actually developed a lot of leadership skills for me, one being communications and my personal development. Through this class, I never would have thought that I'd be talking to older people in my community that are Chamber of Commerce leaders or the mayor even. I meet with him a lot. I never would have thought that I would be communicating with these people if I haven't taken these classes.
That is amazing to hear you say that, because you just said you are kind of like uncomfortable about meeting new people, and you're doing this. This is awesome. Anything that you would like to say, message to share with Ms. Brown or even the school on just this opportunity of them having this?
I just want to thank the school district for allowing students to have the opportunity to take different types of classes that they have interest in, whether that be family consumer science or wood shop or agriculture. We are very thankful to have different opportunities as students in our school district.
No, and good luck with what you're doing with the students and going into these schools. And I love that you're trying to see and do it visually and hands-on and different things like that. But I want to say, you as my student of the month, you get some goodies and treats in here too. And it's Valentine's month of Valentine's, so I just love giving. I love giving gifts anyways. And there are some cookies in there and the same thing, and a little gift from Ava Jewelers that you and Miss Brown both. So keep it up, girl. Lady, young lady. No, student, kids, I am all a mess today. No. Sarah, congratulations on being the student of the month for Downhill with Tina, and it's really great that you have the outlet that you do. So parents, encourage your kids to take a class or something like that, because you never know what they can do with the creativity they have within. And there are teachers like Miss Brown who helps them to flourish in that. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. It's Downhill with Tina.
Life is unpredictable. That's why estate planning is important. Estate planning provides you comfort and peace of mind knowing that you're taking care of your loved ones and ensuring your legacy lives on just as you envisioned. You lived a life that is beautifully and uniquely yours. You deserve an estate planning attorney who understands that and creates a plan as unique as you and in the best interest of your loved ones. You deserve the local, trusted, experienced attorneys at Dagger Law.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Blue Carroll Bulldogs.
It was a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up fourth down.
We're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you. The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions. First time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
And be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.
Downhill with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors, and I'm just so excited because I've always got some really fun guests, and I'm going to talk trash today, and you know exactly what I mean. It is definitely a positive show, so I don't want anybody to think or change anything or turn me off, because it is something very important that we're going to talk about today. I've got with Lancaster-Fairfield Community Action Recycling and Litter Prevention, Keri Murphy. She's the environmental. I get all of that out,
it's
Keri,
a mouthful.
and then I can't even get the environmental prevention. That's what she does at the recycling center.
Yep, I'm the recycling lady, the trash lady of Fairfield County.
But you know what? We say that it is so important that we do talk about the trash and recycling, because this is recycling some people will say, like, but it's recycling. So is it really trash? But it is trash because you guys go through things and end up, what is the percentage of trash that is trash that you go, and this is why I have you on especially to talk about today, is the difference of what you can recycle and what you guys call trash at the recycling center and what is actual something that can be recycled.
Yeah, and what that depends upon your county. So when it comes to recycling, you need to know before you throw, is like what we like to say. So you need to know where your trash is going to or your recycling is going to. So if you're recycling in Fairfield County, we have 24 residential sites that you can recycle at, but most of the recyclables that can be recycled would be like cardboard, paper, aluminum cans, and then plastics. But then plastics is its own breed of materials.
And that's what I'm talking about, and that's what I'm really referring to, is because that is where even I get confused when I'm looking on the bottles for that sign of the recycle, what is supposed to be recycled and what is not.
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to look for the chasing arrows, and then you're going to look for plastics. It's going to have a number. That's called the Plastic Identification Resin Code. And it's going to have 1 through 7, and a lot of times they make it so microscopic you can't see it, and it's on the bottom of the bottle, but you want to look for 1s and 2s. In general, wherever you go in the state of Ohio, 1s and 2s can be recycled.
Is that all that is recycled in Ohio then?
No.
Like,
Some facilities, so if you go up to like Columbus, they can recycle number 5s, which would be like butter tubs.
Oh, you can't recycle butter tubs
here? You cannot
here?
recycle butter tubs here. The only things you can recycle is 1s and 2s, and that would be your water bottles, your milk jugs, 2-liter bottles. Now, sometimes fast food containers will have a number 2, and as long as it's like cleaned out, you can recycle it, but it has to have 1 or 2. I always tell the elementary kids, you have 2 thumbs, 1 thumbs are good, 2 thumbs, great.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
for plastics.
For plastics. Yes. Yeah. But like you said, the aluminum and then the cardboard and the newspapers, papers, things like that.
Yep, all typical papers, definitely. Any paper you can think of, recycle it into the bin. Now, a lot of people don't know, they think cardboard would be like cereal boxes. Cereal boxes is what we identify as paperboard. So it needs to go in the paper bin and not the cardboard bin.
How much time, Keri, do you think that you go through? You said you have 24 different sites, recycling sites. Do you have to go through every single one of those? And how often do you find cereal boxes in with cardboard? Because to me, I thought that was cardboard.
It depends upon how contaminated our load is. So if we open up a cardboard dumpster and we see that it has nothing but newspapers, cereal boxes, and cardboard containers, our paper vendor is gives us grace. And they will allow us to take that because they can still grind up the fibers of the cardboard.
Okay, great.
But we spend a proportion of our day sorting through all the trash because we don't have a machine at our facility.
Okay.
Our facility is sorted out completely by hand. We usually have 3 guys up on a line that's hand sorting all of this trash and picking out the items that can be recycled. And we do get a lot of trash in our facilities.
Okay, you mentioned contamination. With that, how do you deal with that? And how does it affect you guys at the recycling center? Because like I know for me, you just always clean out the milk, milk jugs and things like that. Do you recommend they're clean before you recycle them?
Oh my goodness, if you can clean their containers, our workers will love you because it's really gross in the middle of the summer. They're reaching in and they have gloves, but it's still disgusting. And they have pulled out half consumed chickens with maggots falling off.
Oh, no.
Milk containers.
Milk.
And
Imagine milk, the stinking milk. If you've ever just in the fridge and you've let milk be in the fridge for too long, and can you imagine if it's fermented and sitting in that jug for however long in their trash until before they even get to the recycle?
Yeah, it's not a glamorous job for us. So the more cleaner you can make your load, the better. Some people do take advantage of our sites and they illegally dump, which makes our loads even more contaminated. So we've seen items like needles, which again, we're hand sorting, so that's very dangerous for our employees, as well as diapers, adult and baby diapers. And we're reaching into this material because we're trying to do the right thing for our county and for the environment. In a way, it's almost like a punishment because people are abusing and abusing it.
So with that being said, of course, we always have got those that one bad apple hurts everybody, but hopefully in this case it's not going to ever hurt us. We can continue to do the recycling and stuff. If somebody sees one of your sites in containers that's full, what do you recommend that they do? Do they call you guys? Do they not stuff it? I would imagine you don't want things coming out and over, because if it's wet and damaged, you can't recycle it.
True. So if it's full, don't throw items in the bin. Just hang on to it. Usually the next day we're emptying it.
Okay.
A lot of our sites get picked up twice a week, or sometimes even 3 times a week.
Nice.
So you can just must hit it on a bad day.
Yeah.
Don't put it in the bins. Make sure if you see the lids that are open, put the lids on. If our paper gets wet, we have to throw it away, because the wetness contaminates the load.
Yeah.
And it'll just, if we bundle that up, it's going to have so much mold and mildew. So hold on to your materials. If you're concerned about it, call us. We're always happy to tell you, hey, it's going to get picked up tomorrow, or it's going to get picked up this day.
Can you still drive through and drop off? What are your hours for that?
Monday through Friday, 9 to 2 o'clock. And our website, we just updated the website. It's phenomenal. So we're doing construction right now. We're getting a bunch of new equipment to make our process a little more smoother. So we are going to have some closing here, but pop on our website. It tells you all the dates and times, and gives you a good number too.
What kind of educational programs do you guys have?
Oh yeah, so I teach young and old. I am the spokesperson for the Recycling Center.
That's why you're here, right?
That's why I'm here. So we do any educational programs from just talking about natural resources, because plastic is made from oil. So we talk about conservation, sustainability. We'll talk about ocean pollution, or we'll even go into your business absolutely free, and we'll look at what your waste stream is and how we can correct it. And our service is 100% free.
Awesome. Okay, we've only got a couple of minutes left. So do you have any kind of upcoming events that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, we're going to do a big Earth Day event. It's called Seeds of Change. And we partner up with Lancaster Parks, the Board of DD, and we put on this big celebration. I believe it's going to be April 23rd. It's kind of to be determined, but it's a really fun celebration that we just celebrate the earth. Last year they were able to plant trees. And so we have some tricks up our sleeves this year that we're not going to announce quite yet, because we have to finalize it. But that's a really big event coming up, and all the details are on our Facebook and website.
Okay, and what is your Facebook?
Our Facebook is Fair CAA Recycles. That's our hashtag on that. And then our website's fairfieldrecycles.org.
Perfect. Anybody that's got any calls, I know you had said something before we got started that you don't have a problem answering questions.
Oh no, and on our website we have a direct link, so people can answer questions on our website, or they can call me at 740-205-8027. And that's my direct line, so you'll get me. You might get a speech about trash. We'll talk trash all day.
Talk trash.
Yeah.
She's all about talking trash. Real trash, folks.
Yes, real trash.
Real stuff. Keri, thank you so very much for being with me and chatting with me and talking with me about the important things that are going on. And something that's, I want to share just a little bit of a PQ, I guess. And it's just that what we do to our earth is the after effects is going to be there when our kids are older and our grandkids. So we have to think of the future when it comes to that. So please pay attention to the website and watch what you can recycle and what you cannot. And then if you want to go a step further and take your plastics to Columbus, kudos to you if you can do that. That's pretty great. So folks, I hope that you have a wonderful evening, a great week, whatever time it is of the day. Just have a good one, and I'll be back next week. You've been watching Downhill with Tina.